the people in this country that are absolutely incredulous and think that the entire prospect of the Trump assassination attempt being completely staged is completely impossible, out of left field, like some kind of crazy conspiracy theory, and is just outside of the realm of possibility, is, I mean, it's really saddening and it's really unfortunate, especially seeing all of the facts about Trump that would indicate that he's just as much a part of the deep state as every other politician and president that's been around over the last 50 years. You just take into account his connections with Epstein. You take into account the fact that he's already been in show business. Like, he was in, performing in WWE, and it was, his favorite thing for the longest time. To think that it would be absolutely impossible for him to just hide a blood squib inside of his hat and have somebody shoot blanks at him while there's another person shooting live rounds into the crowd to make it seem like there's actual live rounds being fired at him. The fact that people think that that's impossible is just a sign of how really, really deeply indoctrinated and just committed to the religion of statism that people are in. Like, the right wing is just as much of a religion. The belief in the right wing is just as much of a religion as the belief in the left, in leftism and in the left wing. It's just two opposite sides of the same coin, two wings of the same shitbird. And it's all it is just brainwashing people into trusting and believing in government and the idea that they can change things as long as they vote in the right person. And what did this whole thing do for Trump? This whole thing, it made Trump look like the savior, and all of these people who are ensconced in the whole QAnon bullshit, and the people that literally think, like, these people who call themselves Christian think that Trump is the Messiah, now are absolutely convinced of it because they think that God came down and made Trump move his head slightly, or made the gunman lose, or made the gunman miss. It's absolute fucking insanity, and it's actually a genius plot by the people who are seeking control, because the end result of it is that people have a reinvigorated trust and belief in government, because now they think that as long as Trump wins, as long as he doesn't get assassinated by the deep state that's allegedly trying to kill him, because the deep state is so incompetent that they would hire a 20-year-old idiot that can't hit the broadside of a barn. They'd hire him to try to shoot and assassinate Trump, instead of hiring a legit assassin that would be successful at doing it. But anyways, the end result of this whole thing is that people think that Trump is the Messiah now, think that he's obviously, if the deep state tried to kill him, or obviously if there was an attempt on his life, then he must be the real deal. So you have all these people going out that are going to vote for him now. He's probably going to win, even though voting for him is not going to change the outcome of the election, because voting is a ginormous fucking scam. You can vote all you want. The end result of what government does, the end direction, and the 30,000 foot view looking down at government is going, the path that government takes is going to stay the same. But all these people are going to go out and vote. We're going to get another 4 years of Trump doing the same shit that he did in his first run, which is exactly not the things that he talks about he's going to do on the campaign trail. Taxes are going to continue to go up. The Fed is going to continue to print money. The government is going to continue to grow. Tariffs are going to continue to grow. And you're going to, and there's going to be more gun control, guaranteed. Just like there was when he was president. And then if there is another pandemic, he's going to do Warp Speed 2.0, and he's going to pretend like it's the best thing ever, just like he still does with Warp Speed 1.0. Has he apologized for Warp Speed 1.0? No, he hasn't. Has he apologized for reclassifying machine guns and turning millions of Americans into criminals overnight? Hasn't apologized about that. He hasn't apologized about not firing Fauci. He hasn't apologized about putting all of the swamp creature people that he put into office when he was president. He hasn't apologized about that. You know, John Bolton, people like that. He hasn't apologized about it. Steve Mnuchin. He's just going to do the same shit over and over again, and he's going to punch these right-wing Americans in the face, because that is the end goal of the deep state, is to absolutely destroy the American will and to bully the American people, and Americans fucking love it. They love it. They love their subjugation. They love it as long as the face of their subjugation is orange. They love it. Trump could literally declare martial law and tell every one of these people to confiscate their guns, to hand over their guns, and to take the jab, and they're all going to be fine with it. Maybe not. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit with the jab, because, a lot of these people finally realized at least the fault of Trump for doing Warp Speed and for being so for the vaccine. But they still use the excuse of, he was talked into it. He was manipulated into it. What level of absolute tyranny is Trump going to have to engage in order for you people to actually start to think that maybe he's part of the deep state? How much? What would he have to do? He already went after guns. He said, we're going to go after the guns first, then go through due process. Literally said that. Literally verbalized that. He appointed all of these swamp creatures into positions of power in his cabinet. Nobody gives a shit about that. He almost started a war with Saudi Arabia, but there was such a backlash to that eventually went away. But now it's starting to come back right now. Probably going to be another war with Saudi Arabia. So then all of these pro-Trump people are not going to be able to say, well, he didn't start any new wars anymore. That's probably not going to be a thing if he becomes president. You people don't understand that. I don't know. Just the fact that people think that just because there was this really, really sketchy thing that happened with all kinds of awkward parts to this whole assassination attempt, different weird coincidences and whatnot, and new things coming out daily, but still the end conclusion, as far as I can tell now, because nobody's going to question it, is that there was a legitimate attempt on Trump's life, and that the reason there was a legitimate attempt on Trump's life was because he is somehow separate from the deep state and this whole entire machine that's literally hell-bent on enslaving people perpetually. And I don't know what it's going to take for people to snap out of it. I honestly don't know what it's going to take. It's probably, I don't know. I think people are going to perpetually think that Trump is their savior and that he's great, even though he's done all this sort of stuff that they are against, and yet they still just think that the bad stuff that Trump does is all separated from him, and it's all because other people are talking into his ear. And he's just so helpless that he has to go along with the things that are whispered into his ear. It's fucking pathetic. It's absolutely fucking pathetic. That's all.